Hey everyone, welcome back. Mr. Hancock here. This is for Comp 1. Doesn't matter, fall 2020. It doesn't matter if it's one of the traditional high flex classes or if it's an online class. I do want to talk about for a minute a very common, a common situation I'm getting at this point in the semester. Right at the beginning, first paper, going into the first assignment due for the paper. And I mentioned this in classes, I mentioned this in class really, but I've also mentioned in videos, and I also have it detailed in the instructions themselves. But a common issue that we start to have with the writing process is that students do a couple things incorrectly. Number one, some students may just completely skip the instructions. And I'm not sure how this works, but maybe they just skim the instructions, skip over the instructions, just kind of look at the name of the essay, Google what that means, and start writing something. I don't know. So some students will just turn in stuff that has absolutely no connection at all to the instructions themselves. So the number one thing that you have to do is you have to read the assignment sheet, and that is right here. It's always on the first week of the unit. So this is obviously unit 1, so it's week 1, and here it is, narrative essay assignment. All right, read that right there, read those instructions. And I also have an accompanying video where it explains what you're going to be doing, what you need to watch out for, things like that. Do that. You have to do that. You have to start off, and I do both. I try to accommodate every learning style. Okay, so if you'd rather hear me talk about it, there's the video. If you'd like to read the transcript, the closed captions of what I'm saying, there you go. If you'd rather read it on your own, there you go. You have the assignment sheet. If you'd rather do both, there you go. It's all done there. I try to have videos where I'm going to bring it up on the screen as you've seen and go through it just like I would in class. So what you're getting in those videos is not just random generic videos. It's videos of me of what I'm going to say in class. So if you're an online student, you're getting exactly the same thing. You're getting what I'm going to be saying in class. So you have to read the assignment instructions immediately, and you have to watch the videos if that's where you prefer. You don't necessarily need them. You got the instructions themselves. That should be good enough for you being an adult in college, but you still have the video if you prefer to have that. I like it, so you should try it too. The thing that you have to understand here is that for those that are coming out of high school, maybe, I don't know, I've had people talk about this before, but that, you know, I know this is going to work differently than maybe it did in high school. I don't know. But you are required, being an adult, you have to take care of yourself. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to be calling you telling, hey, what's going on, what's happening. Everything done is on your watch. So you have to do these instructions. You have to turn stuff in when you have to turn in. You have to turn in the right content. And that's just the way it is. I don't give grades. I show you the quality of work that you turn into me. Okay? That's the way I always say it. So when it comes to this, there's nothing on my part. I've done my part. I've put it out there. I've told you what you need to do. So now you have to do it. Okay? You have to watch the videos. You have to read the assignments. You have to keep up with your own work and turn it in. Okay? Because right now, after the first Unit 1 outline, I got a lot of stuff that was just, completely incorrect from the instructions. So that's not a content, quality of work, talent situation. That is how much are you paying attention to the instructions? How much are you watching the videos and doing what you're told? That's a very basic skill that we got to have before you go forward in any college class. Okay. So anyway, that's the main thing I wanted to press when it comes to dealing directly with your instructions. Okay. So there's that. Enough of that. Let's get to it. This video here, the main point of this video is going to be talking about the introductions and conclusions for narrative essays. Mainly for any kind of essay, really. I don't really worry about building my introduction or my conclusion until I've pretty much gotten the body written as a draft. So, as I told you in instructions, for the outline, I would just simply have, for my introduction and conclusion, the thesis statement. Okay? Just put your thesis statement in your introduction, leave it there, and that's all your intro you need. For the conclusion, same thing. Give us your thesis again. Stop. That's it. Don't restate the thesis. Literally write your thesis out again in the conclusion. Okay? That's all you need. Even when I go to start drafting my essay, I'm going to, for my introduction, just put my thesis. Then I'm going to start drafting my body according to how I have it laid out in my outline. The outline is going to help you build. It's going to tell you what to write in what order. It's going to help you build your body, okay? So then I would write my body. And after I've already written 750 words in my body, 4 or 5 body paragraphs, I've developed that content enough in my brain to now I feel comfortable to go and write my introduction, to go and write my conclusion, okay? I write them together, so I'll write my intro, skim my paper again, write my conclusion, maybe write my intro, check the conclusion, back and forth. I'll go back and forth from an intro to conclusion. They're not going to be exactly the same, but they're kind of like a bun. When you cut a bun, a hamburger bun in half, same bun, same stuff, but both are a little bit different and unique for their own and take care of a specific job with the burger. So that's the way you kind of have to think about your intro and your conclusion. They're the same, but they're a little bit different. Read them and work on them together, okay? So I don't even really start drafting. That's like the last thing I draft is an intro and a conclusion, okay? So let's take a minute here to take a look at a specific handout that I have that, again, a lot of students will skip right over, but it will save you some headache and heartache, too, if you pay attention to this. So you'll notice in the Unit 1, in Week 1, Unit 1 narrative essay writing, at the very bottom is the introductions and conclusions for narratives. So here's the handout. Now, there is no specific structure, perfect structure right now, I would say, for building an introduction. This is something that you develop through your own style. The more you write, the better you write, the better you develop your own way of writing your own introductions and conclusions. So, I don't have a specific formula that's perfect in that way for you. However, I have a list of good do's and do nots, okay? And mainly what matters is the do nots. And I've put this together based on common mistakes students make when writing this particular paper, okay? So really quick, you can look at your basic background, the do's. Yeah, basic background, really push the importance of your story, have your thesis, stuff like that obviously goes in your introduction. Really develop the importance to that story in your introduction, okay? But let's real quick talk about the do nots. If you can stay away from these problems here, these pitfalls, it's going to help you do the right stuff in the introduction and conclusion. So notice right there, first off, for the do nots in your introduction for the narrative, do not be cryptic, okay? Be explicit. Tell us exactly what your story is and tell us exactly what the lesson is, okay? Do not beat around the bush. Do not say, that night changed my life forever. Okay, what night and how did it change your life? This is not a creative writing piece. If this was creative writing, then yeah, that cryptic, mysterious point in the beginning is good because it hooks your reader and we want to find out more. This, though, is an academic essay, and frankly, it's considered more work than anything. Say you're sitting down to write or to read some instructions on how to get a Bluetooth connected to the TV and stuff like that. Get Alexa connected to blah, blah, blah. You don't want cryptic. You don't want somebody beating around the bush and kind of leading up. You want to be told what you got to do so you can get your stuff done and move on. That's the way an essay moves. Even though this is a narrative essay, it's still an academic essay, and we want to be explicit and give our information up front right then. So don't be cryptic. Number 2, do not go directly into story in the introduction. The story starts with paragraph 1 for the body. The introduction leads up to it, tells us what we're going to be getting in the essay, okay? So tell us what we're going to get in the introduction, then start your story in the body. A lot of students will not, you'll notice, C, don't let your introduction be longer than your body. Not that that's inherently a problem, but when you have a really long intro, you're typically doing that. Usually students are starting to go directly into the story inside the body, and that's it. Inside the introduction. And that's what they're doing. That's what you don't want to do. So if you got a really long introduction, double check and make sure you're not too wordy, spinning your wheels, talking about the same stuff over and over, being repetitious. But at the same time, make sure you're not starting your story inside the introduction. Then never assume your title is part of the intro or your thesis. That is a good point. Some people put like the big wreck, then starting in the introduction, be like, well, it was one of the worst nights of my life, or one of the worst events, something like that. They're assuming that the reader sees the title as a part of the essay. Don't. For that reason, I never write my title until I'm completely done with my paper. I'll put title at the top just so I can make a place marker for it, but I don't give myself a title until I'm done with the paper. So your title is not a part of the essay, the content within the essay itself, okay? And E, do not focus all your time on a clever hook or even a title, really, but that hook. Everybody's like, they've been taught for so long, I got to have a really cool, catchy hook in the intro. No, forget that stuff. When you go further into your essay writing and reading throughout college, you'll forget even what a hook is. So I say don't waste your time on that right now. Conclusions are very similar. You'll notice here, though, that what you want to do, there's restate your thesis, really focus more on that reflection, and bring a close to it. Let us know that you have completed your job, the reader's been served, and everything needs to be you've fulfilled your thesis contract. Okay. But the do nots. Here we go. Do not introduce new information or storyline in your conclusion. You're done. When you are done with your body, your story is done. No more. Don't bring anything else in. Do not use cliched lessons or language. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I learned always, I don't know, something like that. You think of any, I'm blank on the head of cliches right now, but just overused, boring, lazy lesson language that we've heard before, okay? Like I said, the no use crying over spilt milk. That's type of cliche stuff. It's a good lesson, but saying it that way is lazy. Don't give cliched language, okay? Use your own heartfelt wording. That's what we want. I want to hear you. I want to read you, not something I've read a million times in my life, Don't let it be longer than the body. Same thing. As we said, don't let it have a long introduction. Don't let it have a long conclusion, because if you're going long and on in the conclusion, you're obviously still working on content that should be in the body. Then D, do not simply connect and this is a big problem I've seen a lot. Do not simply connect a concluding sentence to the end of your final body paragraph. The conclusion must be its own paragraph. If you just stick a concluding sentence to your last body paragraph, I mark it as not having a conclusion. So watch out for that, okay? All right, y'all. That's all I have for you right now. Your job at this point, if you're watching this video, that means right now you're done with your outline and you're moving into your draft, okay? You're going to take those points that you made in your outline and you're going to turn them into full body paragraphs. Not just separate body paragraphs, but paragraphs that work together and build to make a larger piece that accomplishes your thesis, okay? That's what an essay is. So there you go, everybody. Continue, keep watching videos, keep reading your instructions and reading your handouts, and if you have questions, y'all, you have to contact me. Last point is that at this point in time, a lot of students will start, they'll turn in something bad, and they'll get a bad grade, and then they're mad, and then they'll contact me and be like, well, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know what to do. And then when I look back, that student, and this has happened many, many, many times, that student never asked for help, never contacted me, never emailed me, never called me, never said, hey, I'm having a problem. So there was nothing I knew to do to help that student until they're mad at me for them not asking for help. So please, if you're having problems, we're all adults here. You're an adult, so if you are having problems, please let me know, and I will help you the best that I can, okay? So otherwise, y'all, thank you. Watch us. Let me know if you have any questions, and have fun.